Hello, my name is Eduardo Crespo. I'm with FlyFishing and Adventures, a company based out of Georgia, USA. I'm right here in our exclusive area in the Shawnee River in the Amazon, where we fish for peacock bass azul, one of actually the largest of the 15 species of peacock bass. We fish for 6 days here, and this is our last day of the season. So I decided to make this short video just to try to answer some very common questions that people that has never fished in the Amazon for peacock bass oftentimes ask me. What I have here is a few rods that I like to recommend, a few flies, and also talk about fly lines and leaders. When people ask me about fly rods and ask me what kind of fly rod weight they should be bringing to the Amazon, my answer is always the 9-weight rod is the go-to rod. You want to bring one, maybe two, but that's the most important rod. That rod will really manage all the fish that we catch here in the Amazon. So from the small ones that may be like a couple of pounds and maybe 15 inches to the largest ones that would be eventually over 30 inches, almost 20 pounds. So the 9-weight is a versatile rod. What typically I have in hands, and especially if you are the first time angler for peacock bass, you don't want to make a large investment. The Eco Boost Blue is a good beginner's rod for that kind of a trip, right? So that's a fast weight rod capable of casting flies of different sizes against the wind, and it is really a great rod to bring to the Amazon. I always recommend as well that, if you want to take a break from fishing but you still want to continue to fish, you should bring an 8-weight rod. So with an 8-weight rod, you can have a break from the 9 or even a 10-weight rod, and you won't feel like you're fishing anymore. So the 8-weight rod, sorry, that's the 10-weight. The 8-weight rod that I recommend for that trip, especially if it's your first trip, is the Eco Prime. It's not, the action is not as fast as the Eco Boost, but it's a great rod for smaller flies. It will allow you to manage most of the fish you catch. Now, if you catch a large one, then you may be a little bit in trouble to net it. So that's the chance that you're taking. But for the majority of the fish that we catch in the Amazon, where we fish, this 8-weight rod will do the job. If you like me and you have some difficulties in casting larger flies, flipping these flies, then and especially against the winds, and in the Amazon can be pretty windy, especially from late morning to mid-afternoon. So the EPR rod is a fast action rod designed for large flies. You can flip big flies, heavy flies pretty easily. So the EPR is a great rod, and also a great rod if you want to flip poppers, because poppers are very wind resistant, and with the wind conditions here, sometimes you really need to have a 10-weight rod. So a floating line and a popper on that kind of rod, that can be very handy. Besides the line, from what I can tell you, especially from different seasons and also from this specific season, is that there's one very well-known fly, popular fly, which is it's manufactured by Enrico Puglisi. The EP fly is the peanut butter, chartreuse, and white colors. Works like magic. So chartreuse and white is a very good combination of colors where we fish here in the Amazon. and the peanut butter is very easy to cast. You can either buy directly with Enrico Puglisi or in fly shops that you know, or if you tie flies, you just go and get the fibers from EP, and you can follow the tutorial and tie your own peanut butter fly. So that's a great fly to take. And the colors, despite of the type of flies, the chartreuse and white works like magic. Now, having said that, you know, the EP has a collection of Amazon flies or tropical flies. I'm not sure what's the name, but they all work well. Yellow and green, yellow, green, and orange, chartreuse. The only fly that I would not recommend are flies with darker colors. So some with flies with dark head or black and purple, that doesn't work well at all in the area that we fish. So this is a good fly. Great flies to use in the Amazon, again with the color chartreuse and white, very lightweight. This was tied by Kevin Howell from Davidson River Outfitters in North Carolina, Brevard, North Carolina. This is an excellent flight, been working very well this season, caught a lot of fish with that. And one thing that I really like it is how it swims in the water, how natural it is, and how easy it is to cast that fly. So this is a great fly. I don't know the name, but you know, if you look it up and ask Davidson River Outfitters for their Amazon for Peacock bass flies, you'll see that one. Another Kevin Howell's creation. That combination of colors is always a killer. You know, the yellow and red, especially red in the tip, in the head. That's a great combination. That flies moves very well in the water, lightweight again, catches a bunch of fish, big ones, small ones. That's a great fly to use in our region where we fish in the Amazon. Finally, one more fly from Kevin Howell is this one. This one's a little bit heavier, it has a resin in the tip, the eye, so it's great if you want to sink your fly underwater a little bit. It has orange, yellow, red, and blue. Typically I don't use lots of blues in my operation here, but that amount of blue has proved itself as being a great combination. It works pretty well for any kind of fish here in the Amazon. So that was, I also don't know the name of that, but if you look it up or check with Davidson River Outfitters, they will tell you the name, and they'll probably have available for you if you want to buy some. Finally, regarding flies, this is a very neat fly, very well tied, almost like a piece of art, and it worked very well. It's very strong. It's tied in Italy by a buddy of mine called Fabrizio. If you need more information, I'll be happy to give you the contact. It's pretty much a you know, it had the orange, it has a little bit of lime color, kind of chartreuse color. It's black, some black, just a little bit of black. It's a little bit heavier to cast, but it works like magic. It catches a lot of fish, nice fish, and it's very resistant. So the only time I needed to change that fly, it was when a piranha took a bite on it and pretty much reduced that fly to half of its size. So those are the flies that we use in the Amazon. The lines that you want to bring in the Amazon, that's very important. It needs to be tropical lines. It can be scientific anglers, it can be real lines, but tropical. So in the name, you also listen to tropical. I don't know what other names they use. Amazon, Jungle, Series, there'll be different names, but you want to make sure it's also it has a shooting tip to allow you to flip large lines. Most of those lines from Rio and Scientific English, they oversized tip, so it's sometimes 1 time or 2 times larger than the weight. It's bigger than the line weight overall, so it really does help you to shoot the line far away. That's particularly important when you're in windy conditions and with large flies. So any of those lines will work very well. The leader is a pretty simple, straightforward combination. It's just a 50-pound fluorocarbon leader. Yes, you can use 40, you can use 30 pounds. You know, some people say will make your fly move more naturally. 40 pounds the same. Now, if you catch a big fish, believe it or not, you may have a broken line. So I never take chances. I always use my 50-pound fluorocarbon leader, pretty much a 6 to 7 feet long. Ideal size, I'll say, would be 6 feet, but as you change flies, oftentimes you want to start with a longer leader. So 7 feet, maybe 6.5 is a good starting point. And you can always extend your leader, so they are not very shy, so you can just extend your leader as needed instead of changing the whole leader. Well, that's, I guess, pretty much it. The reels are not very important. If he has a great dragging system, great. If it doesn't, you just stop the fish with your finger. You manage, the movement of the line with your finger. You let it go the line, or you hold the line with your finger, and there'll be a lot of information I can provide you on how to catch a peacock bass. But we'll do that some other time. Right now, I just want to focus on the gear, the basics, the foundations of gear. To bring for peacock bass Asu, which is the Tamency, the largest one in our home waters here. So this is private water, and you can see it's just a beautiful location. We have good fishing. Usually fishing is great, but now, despite of that, the location is just magic. Just looking around, this is our mother boat. I'm in the deck making this video while everybody else is fishing. Like I said, this is our last day, and you're in the middle of the jungle. You are in the middle of the jungle here. We are 350 miles away from Manaus, and it's just beautiful to be here. So any question you may have, just reach out to me. I'm on Instagram. You can find my email pretty easily, speechfaa@gmail.com. I'll be glad to help you with questions, and also to set you up in a trip for peacock bass if you like to. Have a good day, and tight lines.